Welcome to Stories with Brisco and Bradshaw. I would be Bradshaw. That would be the WWE Hall of Famer, Oklahoma's favorite son, Mr. Gerald Brisco. And we have got a treat, a freaking treat. We have got the former world heavyweight champion for world-class wrestling. He's held ever brass knuckle championship, tag team championship, Texas Wrestling Hall of Famer. He ought to be an ever Hall of Fame, and he's meant as much to me in my career as anybody has in the history of this business. He's a wonderful guy, and I love him. Mr. Black Bart, welcome to the show.
Hey, hello, guys. I love y'all. I love you, Johnny. Brisco.
Hey, Bart, man, we Johnny and I have been talking about this for weeks about getting you on, and finally, we accomplished the feat. You're a busy man, but man, we go way back to when it wasn't no Black Bart. It was big old James Harris in the Carolinas. Now you were born in that bad town of Fayetteville, North Carolina, around that country area. Tell us.
No, brother. Wait, let me correct that. You can't believe everything you read on Facebook now.
And, I didn't read that on Facebook.
I am not from Carolinas. I am not.
Don't tell me you're going to say you're from Texas, because damn, there's too many Texans in this damn. I
was born, brother. I was born. I ain't gonna lie. I was born in Texarkana, Arkansas, right on the border. But by the time I could breathe, I got to Texas as quick as I could, and this is where I live for the rest of my life.
So all that Texas stuff with Bobby Jaggers about being a Kansas Jayhawker, that was all wrestling BS too, huh?
Bobby Jaggers, my goodness gracious, brother, you digging up
digging up bones, man, digging up bones.
Bobby could drink
Oh man. Hey, my brother and I harassed the holy hell out of that guy.
You call it harassing, brother? It was ribbing. Y'all ribbed that boy to death. Yo,
hey, but tell us,
something. And I know you was in on this, Brisco. I know you was. But Mr. Fuji, the old man, he used to do. He would take and put those padlocks on your cowboy boots and put those padlocks on your bags till you would have 40 or 50 of them. And we was just starting, we was flying every dadgum word, okay? And you had to drag and carry that dadgum bag, but you didn't check. Nobody checked the wrestling bag. Because your wrestling bag will wind up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when it's supposed to be in Dallas, Fort Worth, or New York City, right? So we carried our gear. At least we'd have that. Right, and you had to wait and get to a building, and then you'd go searching for a bolt cutter, yeah. To cut them dadgum padlocks off your boots, off everything you carried. But I know you and Gene Anderson. And Mr. Fuji, y'all back there laughing y'all's ass off, y'all on timers. Y'all ribbed the piss out of Ray Stevens. Said Bart. That why well, wasn't Bart. Said Rick. Him and Roddy Piper lived above me at Days Inn, and you know what I'm talking about. Brisco. The guys had lived at Days Inn in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where we live. We had a good deal
from the airport there.
You ain't kidding, brother. And Piper lived right above me, and I lived right below him. But I would have girls and partying going on all the time down there. But they would get up there, and I would be out there barbecuing or doing Texas barbecue. That it was legendary. Party at Harris's pad, And Ray Stevens wanted me to take my hat, I always wear these things, and hold it up, and him sit up there with that 357 that he carried everywhere, and shoot my hat. And I thought that man, I thought he was going to shoot me. I dove in,
You're a trusting soul, man.
Huh?
You're a trusting soul, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I told. I said, man, you can't shoot that thing. We're in the city limits. Shoot he started all them. You got those street lights out there, and we couldn't figure out why they was always off. But if you look up there and you look up there, you can see the bullet hole where Ray Steve brought Papa up there and shoot them out 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But talk about Johnny Hawk. I knew Johnny Layfield as Johnny Hawk, the most beer drinking son of a gun.
Now wait a minute. Let's Bart, Bart. Let me start this from the beginning here. Now, Bart, here's a young man from football that just come out of college. He had to have that old hippie hairstyle, that old look there from
what
Texas,
was it?
That long hippie hair, hippie hair that he had back then.
Yes.
And so this guy walks up and he comes into the sportatorium. I want to be a wrestler, right? So tell us a little bit how the masturation of this guy.
Me, man, I was the sportatorium in Dallas, is legendary, and there's so many dadgum stories there. But one of the most, I've heard about this, and I lived this. Okay, they say this is Bobby Duncombe, and I know Bobby Duncombe Senior. I partied with him, but this is Bobby Duncombe's son, and this is Johnny Hawk, and he had that long blonde hair, but it was in I'm trying to think of the word it's called.
As that page boy haircut he had back then.
Yeah.
Mullet.
Mullet.
Out of GQ. Out of GQ haircut.
It wasn't no damn mullet.
It was a mullet. It was a mullet. They walk in the back of that sportatorium, and they said they was playing arena football.
No, Bobby played arena football. I played in the World League. So Bobby was the one that's playing arena ball.
So, okay, I don't get it. Was and I was a football player. I was a football player up to the time I started training to be a wrestler. So I could relate a little bit. But we say, okay, Bobby Duncombe, we'll give you a shot. And of course, they come up with this damn story that they had been trained out on the West Coast or the East Coast. Straighten me out here, Johnny. Who trained y'all out there? Somebody trained you out there?
Yeah. No, Brad Rangans trained me. Bobby. Yeah. Rangans trained me.
And Rangans trained you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you pick your stuff up and you bring your ass to Texas, and you want to be a wrestler now.
Yeah.
So and you've been trained. Well, let me tell you something, Brisco. Gerald said they were trained. Okay, my happy ass, because the first tag match that we had with these two guys, brother, they would walk by you and tater your ass, and how you could hit Johnny. It was really both of them. You would hit them and they go down and take a bump, but while they was taking that bump, they would tater you. And I told John, I'm in there and I'm working with them both, locking up, stiffer. I have never everything you could think of, but they were stiffest dudes that I have ever locked up with. And I've locked up with Ronnie Garvin. I've locked up with Gerald Brisco, Jared Brisco. I wrestled up with the crowbars in the business. And, I like it stiff.
But you led the way.
I like men. But anyway, we're in a tag. We're at the sportatorium, and it's kind of, it's kind of a good crowd, for the sportatorium. But I walk over to Johnny Mantell, and I said, Johnny, man, you can't believe you ain't gonna believe you just ain't gonna. And I've been in there for about 3 minutes with them and doing spots, and they're just tatering the piss out of me. And I like it like that, but you like it loose and where you could But no, these guys, everything they do, that is stiff. So I said, Johnny. He said, Bart. He said, it can't be that dadgum bad. And I said, Johnny, they're killing me. They're beating me to death. And he said, can't be that bad. And I said, well, here. And I tagged him in the match. He got in there. I think it was with Johnny. I believe it was with Johnny Hawk. And Johnny, he called duck the elbow, tackle, drop down, arm drag, get it again. Okay. And I said, I heard him calling it. And I said, Johnny, I said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I said, he walked over to, and I mean, we're for the torn. So and I walked over there and says, what are you talking about, Bart? Don't do it. I just called that spot and we're going to do it. I said, okay, do it. Go ahead. Do it. And he caught shot him. Johnny hit him with that first tackle, brother. And he hit him so damn hard. If I'm lying, I'm dying. He hit him so damn hard. It was like, pow, and knocked Johnny through the top and second rope, knocked him, but his butt went through. He hit his head going out onto that hard ass table out there. There's a chair sitting right there. Johnny hit that table, flipped his butt in that, and set his ass down right in, and put his head down on that table like that right there, and was just going, oh my God, and come around and tag me from the outside of the ring. And now I got to go in there and fight and beat the hell. These guys are going to beat the hell out of me. All right, but anyway, John, we polished them guys. And I mean, we polished them two guys so good that they shine so much.
Johnny, hey, Bart, they shine, but you didn't teach them how to work. Even the guys that 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever, they were still bitching about how stiff that Johnny Hawk Bradshaw is.
Brother, it's unbelievable. The Larry, brother, I was proud. And Johnny, I was proud of that Larry that you throwed in WWE, brother, or WWE, whatever one it was. Every time, and I watched for you. I watched for you. One of my favorite guys. I pulled, and I don't even know to this very day that Johnny knows that this was a rib that I kind of pulled on him. Okay. Because he was world heavyweight champion in the biggest damn organization in the world. Okay. And I brother, I was world heavyweight champion. I was world heavyweight tag champions. I've done all that, but when I looked on TV and Johnny Hawk stand in the middle of that ring holding that belt over his head, and he was a champion. Didn't matter. No, it don't matter how he got it. Don't matter. He had it, and it's holding it up over his head. And I was so damn proud. I wanted to just bust out, brother. But the rib that I'm talking about, when you drop that belt back, I said to myself, I'm gonna get him good. And I'm down here. I'm down in Texas. Johnny's up there, and he dropped the belt to whoever he dropped it to. Hell, I don't know. And I called Johnny on the phone. And Johnny answers. I said, brother, I need you need to send me $1,000. Can you send me $1,000? And Johnny gets hung up that there was no answer. But Johnny, it was just a rib. But I didn't. I wasn't. I didn't. It was just a rib. I mean, maybe it was a stupid rib, but I was just trying to pay you back a little bit. And brother hung down. He wasn't gonna send me. He wasn't. Black Bart who? Black Bart what? And I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny as hell.
So he hung up on the guy that trained him.
No, right? I know.
Yeah.
Bart
and brother, you try to call this guy. Now, Gerald, you probably get through it. You got his job. You got his job in WWE. You and JJ Dillon, but he, I got him. I'm the one that put all that time in on him, and I was proud. The damn money thing, the $1,000 thing was just it was just a rib. Until this very day, me and Johnny's, and I didn't even know he was there. But what that was it? It was the wrestling com thing in Dallas, Johnny. Yeah, that's where it was at. And he was there. Were you
and
there?
that was no, it was the one in Jersey. It was the one in Jersey.
The one in Jersey. Well, wherever the hell it was, I keep hearing his voice. And I said, damn, ain't no way. There's no way he's here. There's no way he's here. But I go over there and I peek around the corner. He's out in the middle, right by Nord was it? Not Nord. Stiff
No,
boy, that's
Scott Norton. Scott Norton.
Scott Norton. Yeah, I had, and boy, you talk about a stiff guy. Norton, he was stiff, but Johnny, I slip up behind Johnny and I put him. He lets me put arm bar on him. He let me do it, and he looked, Bart. And I said, man, you Vince McMahon look a lot. You, and he said, Bart. I said, man, but I love you, Johnny.
No,
I love you to death.
I love you
man.
too.
And I'm not done with you yet.
Good. I'm not gonna let you be done with him, Bart. I want to hear. You're a big dude. I mean, you always were a big dude. Yeah, before Black Bart come along, when James Harris was out there, that's when I first met you. When
Ricky Harris,
when you was working with Ricky Harris there. In Carolinas. But how did Ricky Harris get that bug to be a professional wrestler? And
you really want me to tell that story?
I really want you to tell that story. If anything, I met one of the Dalton. Remember Jimmy Dalton back in the old days? There was the Dalton brothers.
Yeah,
he said, Brisco. He said, "Let me tell you something." He said, "You went to damn school, wrestled all those things, got beat up, got stretched, become a pro wrestler. I got drunk, went to Chicago one night, became one." So you have a similar story to that.
Well, it ain't my, John, a wrestler. Ivan, his name was John Shaw. He wrestled as Ivan the Terrible. He trained me. But when I trained in late '74 and early '75, okay. But back then you just didn't walk off into a territory and you was a wrestler. It didn't work that way. You had to know somebody that knowed somebody that knowed somebody. Well, Ivan had trained the Scott brothers. One was a booker and one worked in the Charlotte office. Scott,
George and Sandy Scott.
Yes.
And Sandy was a worker and George was a booker.
Right. Ivan, the guy that trained me, trained him. So that's how they sent a dude before me. His name was Johnny McBrown, one of the guys that I had helped train and trained with first to the Carolinas. Well, he didn't. Johnny backed out. He didn't go. He wouldn't go. He got scared and didn't go. And Ivan called me. And brother, I had bass boats, I had guns, I had rod and reels, I had 2 vehicles, and I sold it all and put it and got a Delta 88 because Ivan told me, he said, you got to be able to swap rides. You got to have something for 4 guys to get in and be comfortable, big guys. So I got a Delta 88, and brother, I loaded everything I owned up in that Delta 88 and went to Carolinas. I walked in the office where Gene Anderson was in charge of the underneath cars. Okay. And he said, Rick, you're supposed to be a German with a German gimmick. And I said, brother, I'm just a damn old redneck from Texas. That's all I am. But I can wrestle. And he said, from now on, your name is Rick Harris. You see that on the card, boy. You better be there, or you're going to have your ass fired, and you go back to Texas. I said, I'll be there, yes, sir. And that's pretty much the way that. I mean, Gene Anderson gave me the name Rick Harris. That's that short story, but it. Oh, Gene, boy, and I know, Gerald. You knew Gene. You knew Gene real well.
I got a special place for Gene
Boy,
Anderson.
Gene Anderson, brother, was a sweetheart. And a lot of guys thought he was the baddest thing that ever walked the God's green earth, and he was.
He was.
He'd take a green guy, brother, get him on that down. Oh, get him in that. You remember, Gerald? He get him on that mat on Raleigh TV, and he slap, bam, bam. I mean, Johnny,
he liked those forearm shivers too, man.
Yeah, forearm shivers. But he'd take his hand, brother. And by the time 5-minute match, Gene doing this constant. Every time he would, that in your damn chest looked like hamburger meat. And if he kept coming, then they put you on the old Charlotte territory thing with old lady Charlotte. I mean Miss Crockett's territory, the old territory. I'm talking about the old one. I'm talking about the Raleigh circuit. And if you had them dadgum, if you rode with them Briscoes, now if you set up a ride with the Briscoes, brother, you would there would be a cooler of beer in the back, packed full of beer. It didn't matter what kind. We didn't give a rat's ass what kind. As long as it was beer.
Yeah, as long as it was cold.
In the front seat, in the front seat, brother, there would be a cooler of beer, but there would be a doobie laying in the seats about that long, and as big around as your damn thumb. Okay, on both ends now, and you did that, and you drank, or you got in your own car and you went by yourself or with somebody else, and that was the Briscoe thing. And if you was green, it even got worse. The greener you were, the worse it got. Okay, but I had never in my life, I had never ever sucked anything down in my lungs, not cigars, not anything down inside me. That didn't work. And you ain't gonna believe this, John. I was a football athlete, okay? And when I started up there, I was in shape. Out of 4 days, 3 days at Howard Payne University, brother, and in shape, okay? And I would light that thing, and you didn't pass it. I mean, each individual had his own doobie. Okay, his own twisted up marijuana.
We're making big money back there.
I have never, brother. I have never inhaled anything like that. And brother, what I would do? I would eat it, put it in my mouth and chew it and eat it. That way, when it's supposed to be burnt down to a nubby, I done ate it. And I found out, hey, brother, you get high eating that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? You get high eating that stuff. And Tenaru come up to me, and he said, he's a Jap. He says, Bart, take half and put marijuana in your Copenhagen and mix it, and then you take Jack Daniels or Crown Royal or whatever, or rum or whatever you like, and then you put it in the freezer and let it sit overnight. Let it, and we mix it all up real good, and then the next morning take it. Make you high. I stood in front of cops with a mouthful of that, brother, and I'm high as a kite. And they can't figure out how. But anyway, but yeah, that was rides with the
that was a road trip.
Yeah, bro, that was a road trip, and
so how did you get to Carolina? How did you get to Carolina? Who sent you out there?
John Shaw, the that trained me. I was supposed to go. Okay. I wasn't supposed to go. That Johnny McBrown was supposed to go, but he tired out. He didn't go. He got scared and didn't go. And I was waiting. I was itching. I was ready to go. I said, "Let's go."
Did Gene Lewis have a hand in training you?
Gene Lewis. Gene Lewis. Gene Lewis, Charlie Fulton, and you remember this bunch, Gerald. Charlie Fulton. Sweetheart,
great guy.
Yeah. Great. These guys, brother, were there jobbers, and I was a greenhorn. Okay, and I mean, I had to go through all the ribs. I had to go through, and it's hard for me to remember because they took me in. Okay. In other words, I was trained by a guy that wrestled. His last match was probably in the 50s. And I thought when you not a tackle, but a backdrop. Okay. When you go call a back, you shoot the guy off, you bend over and you flip him up and he goes over and lands on his back. No, that ain't the way we was. No, that ain't the way we was trained. The guy shoots you off. The guy running hits you and gives you and flips you over. Now, keep that in your mind. Me and Charlie Fulton's in the match. He calls a backdrop. Okay, I'm thinking he's going to backdrop me. He's thinking that I'm going to backdrop him. And brother, we meet in our head. Bang! Down we went. Just damn near knocked me out. Don Canoodle and Rocky Canoodle. What was the cowboy that owned the store?
Nelson Raw.
Nelson Raw. Sam Houston come in years later, but them guys took me in, brother, and they taught me the way to call a match, and they retrained me on the job, and we all them places were sold out up there. We didn't have nothing to do with selling them out, but we had some hellacious talent in there. The Briscoes, Flair, had Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine,
it was hot. It was hot. Yeah.
Oh, brother, the Andersons, and I was making 15. I was making 15, $2,000 working. You worked every day, but we didn't want a day off. We didn't want a day off because you work every day up there, brother. In the beginning, Crockett would pay you $50 a shot, okay, and try to run your ass off when you knew there was more money in the house than a $50 payoff. But and then the next week you'd make $2,500, $3,000, and then he'd send you to Canada. You go to Canada and you didn't get paid for that. You didn't get paid for Canada until you went up there the next time.
Right.
You just ate it, Me and Superfly Jimmy Snuka. I was completely down and out. I had paid my rent at Days Inn, which was $300, and that includes everything, by the way. $300. That includes your dadgum phone, everything. So the boys screwed that deal up. But Jimmy Valiant, Snuka. We looked on the booking sheet, and Snuka said we're in every town. You just come on over to my house, lock everything up over there. Come on over to my house. Jimmy put me up for 2 weeks. So we got paid. We got back to Canada. I got paid for Canada and got paid for 2 weeks working for Crockett, and I stayed. Otherwise, this wouldn't even be happening. So that would have been the end of me. But Jimmy Snuka helped me tremendously. Roddy Piper helped me in more ways than I can explain. Piper, I seen a girl coming out of there's a restaurant up front in the Days Inn, and I seen a girl coming out of there, and we're sitting there waiting on Greg Valentine, me and Piper, right? And of course, Piper done hit me with a shot of cocaine off the end of a key. And I said, "What is?" I didn't know nothing about this stuff, that kind of stuff. But he opened your mouth and hit. I said, "What the heck? What was that?" And I looked at that girl coming out. That girl was coming out of the restaurant there. And I said, "Hey, Piper, you see that girl right there?" He said, "Yeah, I see her." And I said, "That girl right there, I'm gonna marry. She's gonna have my kids." And he said, "Yeah, right." Well, I didn't know that Bonnie was chasing after Piper. Okay, and it was actually Piper's girlfriend. All right, but I didn't want to say that because Piper's got a wife Portland or somewhere up there. But anyway, they were friends, okay? And he said, "Oh yeah," I said, "Yeah, that's right." And I married Bonnie, and me and Piper worked angle on Bonnie. It went on for like 3 months. Piper was kicking at her dogs and cussing her dogs and acting like he trying to hurt her dog. He loved them dogs, but he was getting. She hated my guts. I was drunk. I thought she threw me out of. They would come down and get an apartment at Days Inn on every weekend. And Bonnie was like the I want to say that the head of the arena rats. And well, she was, and I knew she was. All right, but she threw me out. She threw me out 5-6 times, and I kept coming back. I had Joshua, and we got married. And we stayed married for almost 32 years, and she died. She died 14, 15 years ago, and but just nicest, sweetest heart of them all. But Piper, he's the one that pretty much done. He put us together, and which was, I think I'd hug his neck right now, kiss him right in the mouth. And I mentioned Jimmy Valiant. Me and Jimmy has got a heck of a history. Seems like for 7 years, every Wednesday in Raleigh, North Carolina, I put Jimmy Valiant over. And I mean, the match, this is the match now. I'm going to tell you, the match is shoot me off, hit me with an elbow, drop the elbow on me, 1, 2, 3. That was the match. But actually, before his music stopped playing, he beat Rick Harris 1, 2, 3. At become best. He was a good friend. If you can have a friend in this business, we were close to it. But Jimmy is what, 80, 81
He
now?
just turned 80 last week. I called him, yeah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, brother. If you're watching this, Jimmy, happy birthday, brother, from old Black Bart. I put on there on his Facebook thing. Of course, I don't know. He probably don't never look at that. But anyway, the stuff that we went through, and that's we all three. Gerald, you work for WWE Wrestler too,
right?
Y'all's tag team up there, right?
Yeah.
And of course, we know Johnny. He worked up there, and I worked up there. As a matter of fact, they're still showing my matches on that deadgum that $9.95 deal, and that I never got a penny for that, but I don't care. They said they're still watching.
They keep that name out there. They keep that name out there for you, right?
I don't know how they get how. When you do the TVs, you have to sign that sheet, and that releases. If you flip that thing over and read it, which we never did, we didn't give a rat's ass. Who gives a rat's ass what we're signing? As long as we get that paycheck and we get that bonus every night, that draw, and I'm talking about WWE now. You didn't get no damn draws in WCW. You can forget that, dude. You work, and then you got your pay on a paycheck, or you didn't get it. And up in WWE, I was there as WWF, but you had to get paid for TV. You had to stand in line, and when they run out of money in that line,
it was gone.
You didn't get paid. You didn't get nothing. I said, what? And you get used to that 350, 450. That's just to carry around in your damn pocket, and then you make it. I make good money up there, brother. And you will never hear me say anything bad about Vince McMahon and his pay, because he was paying me main event pay, or at least I thought it was main event pay. It may not have been, But I was, I'm making 300. I made 13 months. I made over $350,000
Wow.
for Vince McMahon. Okay, and and you look back, and I'm not bringing that up to brag. I'm not bringing it up to brag. Me and my wife Bonnie at the time, we had a 6-bedroom house in Fort Myers, Florida. We had every kind of fruit you could imagine growing around our house. We had a pond, and the back pond is a lake for you dead young people in ancients. Is a little lake in the back of your dead gum, and I could throw a lure over here and catch old Tom. I could throw a lure over here and catch old Joe. I throw a lure. I had them dead gum bass named, and every one of them was over 10 pounds a piece.
And they'd come to you when you called them. Huh?
You could dang near just take some food, dangle out there, and they come up to you, talk to you. But I didn't get at that time, brother. We were never home. We were never ever home.
How many days? Do you remember how many days you went in the road, Bart?
Yes, brother.
Where it was obnoxious, the numbers.
I was on contract with Vince, but it was when I got a day off, it was supposed to be 4 days off. All right, but that it always what we need you to work. We need you to work this day, and then we need you to work this day, and so you go home and you got 1 day. You know what I'm saying? And I done been out there 3 months. And I said I would like, my kids. It took my kids a couple of days to say, "Hey, that's Dad." You know what I'm saying? I'm not. If I'm lying, I'm dying, brother. My daughter, she'd look at me and said, "Well, who are you?" Well, Justin, I'm your dad. Remember? You see all these pictures of me being here when I used to be here. But the thing, and me and Bonnie, we pretty much just blowed. Akbar tried to get me to do the money market accounts with him. Akbar, when he died, I knew of 4 money market accounts that he made $1,000 a month off them money markets. And he had more than that, but I know of 4 because he showed me how he was. And I would tell Bonnie, come on, let's do this. We're for our future. Well, Bonnie, I don't know if Bonnie knew she was going to die early and didn't really give a rat's ass or what deal was, but she said, nah, we'll wrestle forever. Well, and back then we thought
you thought you would, yeah, you did.
We believed that we would wrestle forever. That was it. We would become managers. They would be territories. There was 40 territories you could go make a living, a good living. 40, John. Right here in the state of Texas, there was 4. In Oklahoma, there was 2. Okay. In Louisiana, there was 1, and I think 2 before Watts took over up there. But now you can't even get booked. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, Bart, we're talking about early days, but you hit it off with a dear friend of all of us, the great American dream, Dusty Rhodes. And as soon as Dusty was a guy, he liked the big Texas bullies and big Texas hills, and you fit that description on both of them.
Well, did I ever? I still do.
You and him were like brothers.
Me and Dusty were. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Joe. You don't meet and get to be around too many guys like Dusty Rhodes. Okay. I mean, I trained his son. He sent for 4.5 years. Everywhere I went, right behind me was Dustin Rhodes. Okay. And I rate Dustin Rhodes right up there with Johnny to the point of being a stiff prick. I said
oh, you're right on the ball. You're right on the number there,
brother. Dusty. I can't remember exactly what year it is, but Dusty's seen me in the Carolinas and we drank beer together. We hung out a little bit together in certain towns and stuff. And he said I was in Pensacola working for Bullet Bob and the Fullers, and they put the Alabama heavyweight title on me. It's the first belt that I ever held, and I loved it. God, you Johnny, you don't talk about God's country, but God's country. All right, I mean, I love that place down there. I mean, white sandy blue water coming. But anyway, Dusty called me and said, Rick, I want you to load up everything you got and come to Florida, and I got this gimmick I want to put on you. And he said he explained the gimmick to me. And I said, bro, that's right up my alley. As a matter of fact, I can go in my closet right now and get probably everything for that gimmick that you can imagine I've got hanging in there in my closet. And I had to have the branding arm made, and I had to make a couple whips and stuff like that. But I'll make the whips by hand. And I mean, I got some hanging around here right now. I got one, this one right here. I mean, y'all can't see it, but Dusty said, "Come on, brother," and he put me with Bass. And I know Bass earlier. I worked with Bass in the Carolinas, and when he said the Long Riders and J.J. Dillon and Yellow Dog and Barry Windham, and I said, let's go. I'll be there when you want me. You want me there tomorrow? I'll be there. And he put that he put that on me, and the place was already on fire, but Florida was not on fire like it was fixing to be. And brother, we lit y'all come in and out down there and that thing was on. I mean, everything we touched, double shots. We sold out them deadgum highlight arenas. People look at you and say, "What? You don't even know what highlight is." Well, you ought to get out in the world and find out. Well, Bart knows what highlight is. And them two guys stand up there with a basket and the ball, and they throw it back at each other. So what a mess! And that's a bad thing. You don't miss.
But and those are hard ass balls too.
Oh, brother, but the build, the people, man, in that territory, they had a sportatorium in Tampa, all right, and in Orlando they had Eddie Graham Sports Arena. And Johnny, I don't think you ever got the rights there, but brother, it was so hot inside that building.
How hot was it?
They had water sprinklers that come on during the heat of the day and cool that building off. And them dadgum Floridians would be in there hanging from the rafters like a bunch of dadgum monkeys. I had one night in there, which we started that walking tall gimmick, and a lot of people don't understand the walking tall gimmick. I mean, Blackjack Mulligan sitting there for four TV shows, whittling on a 4x4, whittling. He gets smaller and smaller until it looks like some kind of big giant bat. And then he stands up and he says, "I'm coming for y'all, and I'm gonna take you one at a time. I'm gonna take care of you." And that's exactly he went through Kevin Sullivan, J.J. Dillon, Ronnie Bass, Black Bart, Billy Jack Haynes was there. There's another stiff prick, brother. The whole one man gang was there.
What a crew!
Hey Bart, you mentioned Yellow Dog. A lot of people don't remember Barry Windham as the Yellow Dog.
Barry Windham was probably one of the best technician wrestlers. He back then the heel. Okay, John, and I know you know this, but the people probably know it too. But I don't care. They said the heel calls the match. If the match was screwed up, and this is any territory I work except for the Von Erichs. Now, for Fritz, it was like this, but for after Fritz, no. the heel called the match, and if the match got screwed up, I don't care what the excuse. It don't matter. They didn't go to the babyface. Come straight to the heel, and they said, what happened? What happened with that spot? And what happened with the finish? Why did the finish get screwed up? You can have a so-so match. But when you see that finish, you got to nail that finish. And all them people back there in the back know the finish, or they're supposed to. That way, when you come back through that curtain, you can say, "What happened?" I gorilla standing over here with his hands behind his back. What's going on with you? And, why don't you stick your hands up in the air like that? And I said, Gorilla, JJ, I couldn't. I was paralyzed from the waist down. Stupid. I didn't even know if I could stand up, but I didn't mean to get off, but the heel was responsible for every damn thing that happened in that ring. And we called the match in the ring, not back in the dressing room, 5 or 6 hours, going over a 5-minute match for a whole day and going out there and screwing the whole damn thing up. And you done talk about the damn thing all day long. I've caught them on my shows. Sometimes I run a little. I'm like the 27th of this month. I'm in Alexandria, but I'm just at a table. I'm at the table selling pictures, and Putski Jr. is going to be there, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head. One Man Gang's going to be there. I'm going to be there at the table, signing, selling pictures, whatever. And James Beard's going to be there. Johnny's a good friend. And
he's my friend too, Bart.
Is he? You know him?
Yeah. I'll claim that Texan. Nobody else will.
Brother, I got about a 4 or 5, maybe a 6-hour drive with him coming up on that. We got to be there. Like we're going to try to be there. I think around 1, something like that. Sub tables. Well, it's going to be a good time. But it's Alexandria, Louisiana. Saturday coming up not this weekend, but next weekend.
Hey, Jerry, we had at one time talking about James Beard. James was referee in the ring, and I'm wrestling with Bart. It's Akbar is my manager, and I don't know. Bart and I wrestled a million times. Me a heel, him a heel, me a babyface. Tag team against each other with together. We were Texas tag team champions together. But anyway, I'm wrestling against Bart, and when I first started, Akbar is my manager. And Bart hits me with his receipt was he'd club you with his fist right on the top of your head, and it was like he shrunk you like 6 inches. So he looks at me and he goes, "This is a receipt, you greenhorn piece of shit." And he goes, "Wham!" And he hits me on the head, and I roll out of the ring because I don't know what a receipt is. So I roll out of the ring and I go to Akbar and I'm trying to figure out. Bart's trying to call a spot or something. I don't know what he's talking about. But, so I said, "What is a receipt?" And Akbar goes, "Oh, it means Bart loves it. He wants you to hit him again." Every time Bart hits me, I'd hit him back. He goes, "That's a receipt." And I hit him back. He goes, "It's a receipt, you idiot."
Yeah. That's good stuff, Johnny. I don't know. I'm gonna tell. I got Johnny. I got to tell the story, brother. I don't know how long we've been on here, but
not long enough. I want to hear some more Layfield. I want to hear some Justin Hawk stories.
But we are down, and I know it's gonna pop in Johnny's mind. We were down in the on South Texas, down there on the border, and we wrestle. It don't matter about the matches, but it was a good crowd, and everybody's happy. And Mike Davis is there. Rob Price and Murdoch was there that night. Oh, that oh man, Johnny, you're too much, brother. Johnny it's somebody, and we're all. I think Johnny's a heel. You was a heel because we was
so. Yeah,
and I was a heel. We were anyway. We're in the bar, and this
I was because I was rooming with Gary Hart down there. Yeah,
yeah.
So, I was.
There you go. But I mean, Rob Price is there. They're all there, and this bar that we're in is just packed. And we can like, hey Johnny, hey brother, and we're just back and forth, but Johnny decides he lays a quarter up for the pool table. He's challenging the pool table. So we want to play partner. We want to play tag team pool or whatever you call it. And I said, I walked over. I said, Johnny, I said, I don't know. He said, yeah, it'll be everything. It'll be all right. Come on. It'll be okay. I tell he put his quarters in, but I don't know. An hour went by and Johnny's over there drinking. I'm keeping an eye on Johnny and everybody back and forth. Mike Davis running around like a banshee with his gum head cut off. Said Johnny finally hopped, hey Bart, we got the table. I said, well, go ahead, play one single. So Johnny's playing, and we're and as the game gets shorter, I didn't know if y'all was calling the shots, calling the balls, or you was tapping where the ball was supposed to go, or you was just playing white, just bust them in. You don't have to go in line or till you get to the 8 ball. Well, the 8 ball, when it winds up, the 8 ball, and Johnny's lined up on the 8 ball. Well, he don't tap the hole. He don't say you don't have to if it's a dead ringer shot. And that's exactly what it is. Johnny hits his shot and he takes the table. Okay. Johnny just poop. It's a chip shot. It's just, boom. And the guy says, no, you don't win. Told Johnny, this guy ain't maybe 5'2", 5'3", and they're saying, so Johnny said, what did you say? What did you say? Johnny said, hey, Bart. I said, yeah, come here. And I walked my big butt over there, and Johnny says, have you ever heard of anybody? This is a chip shot straight in that hole. I win, right? Right. Yes, that's right. That Spanish guy comes over there and he starts jab Spanish. I said, hey, I've been around the world 3 times. I have heard and seen many a dead gum pool game. If it's a dead springer shot, you just make the shot and you win. That's it. That ball's going in that hole right there. That guy looked at me and he got smaller, brother. Did he not? And he slid off. Of course, Mike Davis is over there. Rob Price is over there. Everybody's over. Why? How? And we just got out of that. Is that the way that went down?
That's exactly how it went down.
I believe we just because there was 1,000 Spanish people in that building, and we're over there. Johnny Hawk, 7 foot, that gum Bart, 6'4". Mike Davis is a little runt, but he's acting like he's 9 foot bulletproof. And Rob Price and whoever else. And this little guy's just cowered down just in front of him. I said, it's time. Johnny said, we would go.
We should go.
It's gonna be. We may get a couple of them. But brother, we ain't gonna get them all. I said, you're absolutely right, brother. Unbelievable stories, Johnny.
We had so much fun. Murdoch and Bart were like 2 brothers.
My God, bro.
So Murdoch and Killer Tim Brooks were cousins. and Murdoch used to always say about Killer Tim Brooks, he goes, Killer had sex with our neighbor's handicapped chickens. And Killer would always go, those chickens weren't handicapped. That was his answer. I've heard them say that a million freaking times. Those were 2 of the wildest guys.
Hey, Bart, you got to have a good Dick Murdoch story.
Brother, I got one. It's kind of like that, but me and Murdoch, it's in It's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, brother. And
Murdoch
we're
loved Oklahoma too.
oh,
Didn't
brother,
Yeah.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he loved them Okies, brother. Yeah, it's like Akbar, bunch of dadgum brain surgeons. Me and Murray, here again, we wrestled at that Coliseum in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was a good crowd, all that, and matches were great. And I think I wrestled. I think I wrestled Murdoch. But anyway, we're going out. Me and Murdoch's going out. We don't care. Piss on the business, you know. And the business has already been stooged off anyway, so it didn't really matter. And Gerald knows what I'm talking about. But brother, Murdoch, he said, and I'm curious right off the bat, Johnny. He says, I know a good place. I said, brother, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You hate this state with a passion. You don't want to go there. You don't want to be, but this is a good bar that we're going to.
Of course it
yes,
is in Oklahoma.
Good bar, a good bar. Of course, then he tries to tickle me and pinch my nipples and pull my hair underneath my arm all the time. I was with him in Puerto Rico, brother, and all the time that's what he would be and trying to tickle me, and I would put him over. Okay, and then I said, I'm not. I finally told him, I said, Dickie, I'm not ticklish. I'm just putting you over, brother. And I said, here, do whatever you do. And he did. And you know, I'm so damn ticklish, brother. I couldn't. I would slap a kid. You touch the bottom of my feet, I'd knock you. I'd bust you across. But I'm sitting there. I'm trying. I said, see, I'm not ticklish. But we had a match that night. Got me in the corner. He's tickling me. You know, and I'm talking about in the ring. But that ain't where we go to that bar in Tulsa, right? And we got, it's a pool hall, you know, and we're playing pool, shooting pool, you know, playing teams and everything else. But I got this. This was right after I had lost the belt back to Kevin for the world strap belt. But my wife got me a big giant buckle, you know, Texas WCCW heavyweight champion of the world, 1986. You know, and I love wearing that thing. You know, of course I got my ass ribbed, big time. More especially when I went back out. And me and Murdoch is in this when we're in there shooting pool. We're in there shooting pool. We shoot 4 or 5 games, drink probably 10, 15, 20 beers, and maybe more. And see people look and say, nobody can drink that much. We did. Okay. And I'm usually a very, very, I let stuff roll off of my back. I don't like going into bars, more especially when I was very, very well known. I'm still well known, but I'm kind of different looking now. I'm old, but Murdoch is shooting. This guy comes up from the back of the bar, and there's probably 15 people in this bar, 20 people in this bar, and we are having a good time. This little guy walks up to me, and brother, he couldn't been 5, maybe 5'1", you know, maybe 110 pounds soaking wet, and he grabs the bottom of that buckle of mine, and he pulls it up into my gut, you know, the top. Grab the bottom, and it goes into your belly, like almost cuts you wide open. Pull that. Let me get a closer look at that thing. And I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a real close look, brother. I reached down and grabbed him by the nape of the neck. I shot him straight up in the air like that, and I sidewalk slammed his ass on that table. I said, now get you a real good look. Rolled off the table, went back to the other end of them other 14, 15 guys that were back there. And I said, Dickie, they're coming. He said, I said, you know, Dickie's right there. He's you know, Dickie's ready to go.
All the time.
I said, brother, brother, there's 15 of them. Counting that little squirt, I just back slammed on this table, and somebody's going to pay for that food table. He said, I ain't paying for it. He can pay for it. Anyway, me and Dick slid out. He said, Bart, I know one more bar. I know another bar. And I said, I tell you what, Dick, you go by yourself to that damn bar. Because old Barsky is going you're gonna drop me off at the motel room. But Dickie Murdoch. The day that he died, I was in Hillsboro, Texas, and I was mowing my sister's grass because her husband and her were older than me, and I was in better shape. I would go down there and mow their grass for them. And Linda, my sister, come out, handed me the phone, and said, somebody's calling you. Of course, everybody had everybody's phone numbers back then, and we actually answered the phone when it was one of the boys. Not like Johnny Layfield. He don't answer his phone.
True that.
He's scared I'm going to ask for $1,000. That's the rib.
If you had needed $1,000, I'd have sent you $1,000.
I know you would have, brother. I didn't need it. That's right. My house, everything, even back then, my house paid for, my land's paid for. Both my vehicles are paid for. I'm working on my bass boat that Booker T and Stevie Ray was supposed to get me for me getting them in the damn business. That's nothing. Hey, you mentioned I was a Texas honorary Texas legend. Do you know the whole story on that?
No.
About me being, I'm gonna tell it because I feel like I am, and until the day I die, the least that I have earned is to be a Texas legend. But with that being said, kind of the same kind of situation with you and Bobby. We got. I think this was before you though. We got Booker T and Stevie Ray come up to the Sportatorium. No, we won't be a wrestler. Where you live? I was living at the time. I was living in Texas City. That's down on the coast. But they lived in Houston. Okay, and I said, well, I go to Sportatorium every Friday. Come on, let's go. So went up there and we started training them. They were Ebony Experience.
Yep.
Had the flame. They didn't get the flames down on there till they got their start in WCW. And then they got the flames and all that. But anyway, every Friday I pick them up, carry them to Sportatorium, get them polished. They were trained. Whoever trained them very well. Damn. I mean, just oozing over with charisma. You know, we trained them.
Scott Casey was the one that trained them.
Scott Casey trained them?
Yeah.
They said they knew that me and Dusty was good friends, and Dusty was the main booker in WCW at the time. And I called Dusty. I said, I got two guys on you need to look at. And he said, and he knew I wouldn't call him unless it was, I meant it. And he asked me, he said, have they got any charisma? I said, charisma.
Do they?
I said, brother, they are oozing over with charisma. And they went up there, and brother, they never looked back. But anyway, Booker T called me, and I still ain't got the bass boat. Neither still ain't got. And but Booker T called me. I don't know. It was during the week of WrestleMania. All right, and they were supposed to. They were inducting me into the Texas Hall of Fame, the real one, whatever that means, And anything at my age, anything is an honor, But to be said a Texas legend, the first Texas legend, that meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. And but the thing was, it was supposed to be held. It was supposed to be the thing was supposed to be at that WCCW building, at that bar, or where the Von Erichs, the door. What's her name? I don't know. I'm horrible on names, except they're Von Erichs. They're all Von Erichs. And Booker T called me and said it's canceled. And brother, he was not a happy camper. He said the whole thing is canceled. Canceled. Done. And I'm getting calls. I got, and my question is, am I still a Texas legend? You know, am I the first inductee into the Texas Hall of Fame, Texas Legends or whatever? And I'll go to my grave saying, yeah, I am. Yeah,
Yes, you are.
I am. Yeah. But you know, that's kind of the story on that. And the deal was the Von Erichs, because of ticket sales, they had my deal, of course, and you know, the Von Erichs have never been happy with me because I did some stuff to the Von Erichs that most people wouldn't have done, if you know what I mean. But they canceled every event that they had for that week. They had like 5 or 6 events. They canceled one. You know, I brought that up, and if I can get this thing out, I can't get it out.
Can you share one of those stories that you did to the Von Erichs?
Well, that's what I'm trying to. I wait.
trying to find your prop.
I'm trying to find a prop. Yeah, but it's a good prop if I can get the damn thing out. I should have had the story just come up, but I just remembered. I said, "Heck, I got that thing laying right here." But I like to keep things. I like to keep Johnny's like, "What the hell is that?" That's BB, Johnny. You remember BB, don't you?
Absolutely.
Is that the same BB? Is that the same BB?
This is something. Yeah, this book Akbar got.
Yeah, tell. Is that the same BB on Booker T's ass?
Yes, that's what I was fixing to tell, brother. We got a match, and Akbar. This is a half-inch smooth rebar, okay, and it's double here. I got a story about this, but Akbar gets this wild idea, and he goes and buys one of them blow torches. You know, you can buy them in cans, put the little jet thing on it. So the match starts. It's we got to go 15 minutes, 12, 15-minute match. The Akbar, and he ain't supposed to start heating this thing up. So about 3 minutes left in the match. And then just give him enough where it'll smoke a little bit. Akbar started heating this thing up, brother, as soon as we got there. He sat down in the chair. He lit that torch. I said, Akbar, not now. He said, oh, it's got to be hot. It's got to be hot. It's got to be hot now. He's sitting down there the whole damn match. Heating this thing up, brother. It come time for me to brand Booker T. Now, Booker T had put padding where I'm supposed to brand, to take a little bit of the heat. Brother, Akbar handed me this branding iron, and it was cherry red. It was. I said, it's got to be done. I hit Booker T in the butt with this thing, brother, and it smoked. I thought I caught him on fire. I thought it caught everything on fire. But he went running, and I was screaming and hollering and screaming. I said, well, I told you, you set him on fire. I said, it was good. It was good. It was good, Bart. You're on it was good. Akbar. But I don't know if you can see this.
You think that might be one of the reasons you never got the bass boat?
Might be. I don't know if you can see the bend in the handle of this thing, but it's bent.
Yeah,
it's bent. You can see it.
Yeah.
Right here is where I hit him. We're in Real Rogers Coliseum, brother. Pretty good house. I'm the world heavyweight champion. Kevin is trying to take the belt back. And when they get in the ring, every time they get in the ring with you, they say, "Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home." I guess this to see, and I don't have to say it. They're stoned out of their gourd, and I mean, I don't know how I don't know sometimes how they function. Sometimes he didn't function. I had to put Holtz on myself for him. Honestly, God's truth, brother. But anyway, we get this is about halfway through, and we want pay the big payoff every time we run. We run it like that. The sportatorium made our paychecks very, very good. Okay, but with that, we get to the finish, and he's stoned out of his gourd. The finish is I smack him with this branding iron, and he goes down 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I hit him, and he just does like that. And I said, that kid didn't just do that. And he ain't going down. I just hit him with a damn branding iron, and he's like, ah! And I'm hitting him right here, brother. I get him again. I do something to him, boy. I get him set up, and I said, brother, he's gonna feel this. I guarantee them teeth. But I hit him about half of what I could hit with. Okay, and I said, man, you stupid kid. And that, to me, that Fritz was my idol, my God. My daddy thought Fritz hung the moon and the sun. All right. And them boys, I mean, I want to be fighting, and it was a fight every night you wrestle Von Erich, it was a stinking fight. Okay, except for David. Well, then the two youngest ones, they couldn't fight. But Kevin, Kerry, and Dave could go if he had to, but Dave was a damn good worker. But the third time, brother, I set him up and I hit him. This is where that bend in that I hit him so hard that in blood. I actually thought maybe I killed him. Okay, and I said, thank God. One more we ain't got to worry about. Now, but I asked Terry. I asked Terry. Man, the Freebird Terry.
Terry Gordy.
Terry Gordy. Me and him was drinking buddies. He said, I asked him. I knew I was coming here, and I knew I was going to wind up fighting the Von Erich. So I said, well, what do you got to do to have a good match with a Von Erich? And he said, Rick, you guys got to beat the hell out of him. And that's what he meant. And if you watch some of his stuff with them against them Von Erichs, Terry's beating the hell out of him. But I hit him with that branding iron. I laid him out. I covered him 1, 2, 3. I left him laying there in the ring. Went back, got my stuff. Figured I was going to be fired. And I live about maybe 45 minutes, an hour from the Real Rogers Coliseum. And Fritz calls. As soon as I'm walking in the door, Fritz is calling me. Hey, Bart, what are you doing to my son? What happened? What's going on with that? And I said, Fritz, if you'd have done some of that when he was younger, maybe it wouldn't be so damn bad. Bam, and hung that phone up, brother. Well, boy, Fritz has had a hell of a way to get. He didn't fire me. I figured he's gonna fire me, but he said he called me the next morning. He called me and he said I want you to go down to the to the outdoor show in downtown Dallas at that big ass arena they got down there, and I want you to wrestle a bear. And I said, Fritz, I don't want to wrestle no bear. And I had an incident in Alabama when I was the Alabama heavyweight champion. Ginger's a wrestling bear, and she could wrestle. Okay, she'd snap back. I don't know if you ever seen her, Gerald, but
yeah. The
guys would give her Coca-Colas, and then she got enough Coca-Colas that she would be nice. She would be nice, but I was in the ring. I had a partner anyway on that one, and And he got in the ring, he got the bear to stand up, got Ginger to stand up. And I mean, that was awesomeness. That bear standing there going, oh, I said, damn. I said, tag me. Now we're against the bear, right? I said, tag me, tag me, tag me, tag me. How'd you do that? How'd you do that? He said, Bart, just get in the ring and stomp. Well, he said, Rick, just get in the ring, stomp your foot at that damn bear. And brother, I got that ring. I looked at that bear. Now I'm looking at the bear. We're kind of level, but I stomped my foot at that damn bear, and that bear raises up and keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up. She's like 9 foot tall. And I took off underneath the ring, out to the dressing room. Bob Armstrong sitting there. What are you doing, Rick? What are you doing? I said, I am going home. I'm done. Hit bear done scared the shit out of me, and I'm done. And put all my stuff up, brother. And Bob said, well, you did quick. I said, no. But before that match, I'm gonna get to the other bear here. Before that bear match, they're over there in the corner. They tricked me. See, they tricked me. They over in the corner, him and Ron Fuller or whichever Fuller it was, and they're going down a list, checking off this list. And I hear Bob say, "I'll do anything for Bob, Bullet Bob. I love the man to death." He actually gave me my first actual break in the business, but he says Bob says we got nobody that will wrestle the bear. And I done drank about 18 beers before, and I said, Bob, I'll wrestle anything you got. Don't matter. Put me down. Okay, Black Bart's wrestling the bear. Rick Harris is wrestling the bear. I said, no. I said, a bear? He said, yes. I said, you son of a... But anyway, and then I come back, and but Fritz calls me on that bear at the downtown arena and at the outdoor show where they sell all the trailers and all the mobile homes and the outside show, boats, all kinds of boats. They got a ring set up, all right? And this dadgum bear that's supposed to have mitts over his paws and supposed to have a muzzle on ain't got none of that. Oh, none of that. But I watch it, and the bear gets in the ring. Well, he's got a big chain around his neck, and I got an 8x10 picture hanging up over there somewhere. But the trainer is like the referee, right? So when the bear starts getting upset, he just reaches up and grabs that chain and twists that chain, and that bear sits on his butt and stops everything. So the bear takes about 7 guys out of the crowd, one at a time, and the bear knows how to single leg dive, a double leg dive, and he knows how to cover your ass. He knows how to get you in a bear hug, and you don't want to get in that bear hug. I said, but anyway, I'm the 8th guy and they announced, Black Bart from El Paso, Texas, or the Black Hills of Dakota, or wherever I'm from, big hoorah, the world heavyweight champion. I'm coming down the aisle, and I get in the ring with this bear. And I've been watching. Every time that bear get me, he would bite you. He would bite you. I got back teeth holes right here in my, and he would bite and get all the way in his. And then that guy with the riding prop would tap him. He had a little tapper thing like Akbar used to, and he would tap that bear on the nose, and that bear would turn loose. He'd twist the chain, the bear would sit down. Then you go back up with the damn bear, and he'd go do the same thing. Well, I got to the point where every time I touched that bear, I'd twist that chain, that bear would sit down. So me and that bear's in the ring for 9 minutes, right? And finally, I guess for no reason at all, the announcer says, the world heavyweight champion, Black Bart, has wrestled the bear to a draw. I said, that's pretty good. That's that'll work. So I jumped out of the ring. As I'm going out the ring, now that guy that was in the ring that trained the bear, he's PO'd. And he leaves the bear standing in the ring. Well, he's got 2 other guys with him. It's kind of, in case the bear gets loose, I guess they're going to grab the bear. But there's like 1,500 people surrounding this ring, 1,000 people. It looked like a big crowd. But one of the trainers go to open the ropes, like he's opening the ropes for the bear, and that damn bear takes his right paw and knocks that guy about 7 feet back in the people. Now that bear's got to get from that ring to that dress. That guy, as I go by the dressing room door, that guy's leaned up, all mad, cussing, and I said, brother, you better go get that bear. He done knocked one of them guys out down there. That bear gets off in that crowd. You're the one paying for it, not me. I said, that dadgum bear is mad because you left. And he said, oh my God. I guess he realized that bear trust, he went out and got his bear. That's the 2 bears that I wrestled in my career, and I'm glad I didn't wrestle no more bears. Yeah. Sorry. I get going. I get going. It's hard for me to stop. I'm sorry. 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago. Let me wet my whistle. Johnny, you know all the beer that we drank, and I know you. I don't know if you ever, or if you ever own up to it, even if you did, about the drugs and everything. And drugs were very, very heavy in my career. And my friends that I call my friends, almost all of them are dead because of it, one way or the other. I've been sober for over 10 years now. And you know how much I love my snuff. And that it got to a point where I'm gonna think the guy's name. Wait a minute, Lex Luger. If he seen my name on the card, and he was on the same card, he would put me a table. He would get there earlier than, and he got there earlier than me to do this. He would set me a table up. Okay, he set me a big giant trash can on this end and a big giant trash can on this end. He set me a chair right in the middle where I could sit there and spit in them cans. Lex, I don't even know if he remembers that crap, but I haven't had a dip of snuff. I quit drinking and dipping at the same time. I just stopped. That was it. I was done with it. And
I remember you sitting in the corner of the dressing room or the sportatorium, and your glasses would always come down, and you push them up like that, and you go, I've spent my whole life spitting in a trash can. I had a trash can right between your legs.
I said, listen to this. I had them like this. Arn Anderson does this real well. And he would say, I spent my whole life looking at the bottom of the trash can. He see, there's another one.
You had a yellow car. I remember when you were riding with Arn.
Yellow. Well, that was later. My yellow canary. That was later. That was later in my. I sold that car to Pat Tanaka, and Pat was getting ready to go to Tennessee from Carolinas to Tennessee. It's a wonder that you remember the yellow canary. But Pat Tanaka bought that car from me to go to carry it to Tennessee. Tennessee's a lot of miles, and it was a good car, but he was going to load up, take my car, and take all his stuff and leave and not pay me. And some of the boys got in contact with me and said, Pat Tanaka loading your car up, getting ready to go to Tennessee. And I said, no, he ain't. And I mean, we knew where everybody lived. We rode together, and I went over to his house. And he owed me like $900. And I walked up to his front door. I said, Pat, do you own a gun? And he said, Bart, I don't own no gun. I said, good. Get the hell out of my way. And I walked he was in an apartment. And I walked into his apartment, and I looked around, and I seen a stereo with, back then, all the guys had big giant stereos with played records and played cassettes and all kinds of stuff. And I said, Pat, are you gonna help me load that up? And I figured I may get $900 for that. And he said, I said, you help me load that up? We'll square on the car. And I knew I could sell it. So I mean, he helped me load it up. And everything was square. I gave him the title and everything to the damn car. Yeah, the Yellow Canary, brother.
Yeah,
that car could tell. If that car could tell stories, brother, it'd be a good one. So I mean, they can't. I've said along the years they can never. We will, no matter what, they can't take our memories. And I thought today, this morning, before I done this thing here, I thought to myself, we can get dementia, and they can take our memories, And I wanted to. I mean, it seemed like everybody's writing a book, okay? And the dude, they say, Bart, why don't you write a book? And I go, well, my book is in process right now. The dude named Vinny Berry is writing my wrestling story, and I think we're going to do another one that starts from as far back as my living with my mom and dad, my whole life. We're going to do that one, and I mean, he done this one, and I don't know that, and you can this one right here, and this one is a bunch of stories about a bunch of guys, and it's wrestling.
Hold that up a little bit higher.
Wrestling.
There you go.
Wrestleville.com, and you can get this book. And it's Vinny Berry, and the dude's a sweetheart. Okay, I mean, I don't, and he done this one. Let me make sure. This one is about Lance Von Erich, and he's a good dude, and most people, if you didn't wrestle the state of Texas, you didn't even know who Lance Von Erich. Nobody's ever heard of Lance Von Erich, but he was one of the Von Erichs that they made when Kerry died. I think I may be wrong on that, but he was to feel full after one of the boys had died. And I mean, me and Akbar made one, and Rick Larabus was Mark Von Erich, their cousin, and he looks like Kerry Von Erich, twin brother, I think. But with that, he's going to be at that show. He's going to be at that show in Alexandria, Louisiana, on the 27th too. He's another one's going to be there. And plus, they're going to have matches. They're going to have wrestling matches and stuff like that. And Dr. Dan,
Bart, how can you get a hold? How can the folks get a hold of that book? These shows, you got a website?
I just said, that wrestleville.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them there.
Okay.
You can get them there.
So they can book you. They can book you through that .com address, right?
Book me.
Yes.
They'll be able to get my book through there, through that. But the first chapter is
for your appearances like you got coming up in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Where can they find you to book you in those appearances?
I don't understand the question, Johnny.
Okay, if somebody wants to book you to do an appearance, do you have a website that they go to?
No, I probably do, but the one that I want, I would love to be booked out. I haven't. There's a lot of places that I ain't been back to that I was over.
Can you go legally?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I help, my phone number, I'm old school, brother. I'm on Facebook, Black Bart, and Rick Harris on Facebook. If you want to look me up, I've got about 5,000 friends on there that follow me, and I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty good chunk. Yeah. They won't let me add no more. I got that many more ways to be added. I'm on, and my telephone number is out there. I don't want to just hand the phone number out. But
no.
If they want to get it,
John has some real kooky people that are his fans and watch this show.
I don't doubt it one bit. I've got a few myself, but they, I would love to be booked, and the vendors in Charlotte, they know who the hell I am, and they last time I was up there, they did very, very well on me. I've been to Greenville, not Greenville, Greensboro. At that one they do is Winston-Salem right there. I've been to that one 2 or 3 times, and I enjoy going out and doing that stuff, and I love it, and I want to. I can walk, but I can't walk across no airport no more. But I found out if you get wheelchair to wheelchair, curb to plane, they come get you in a dead gum wheelchair at the curb and wheel your butt all the way through the airport. And that's what the people that book me now, is what I asked for that. And I asked for first class because I think I deserve first class.
You deserve it.
My big ass don't fit in them seats back there no more. They got smaller. I just went down to Florida to that group down there that they carry you out to a steakhouse or some kind of
down in Miami. What a great group of guys that is.
What are they called? What are they called, Gerald?
I can't remember. Take that Brazilian steakhouse. I've been down there a couple times. Yeah.
They're called like K Fabers or Stooges or something.
Yeah, Barry Rose is kind of a ringleader.
Yeah. I got his number right here on my table. But brother, first class, first class tickets. I'm talking about
first class people too.
First class everything, and I get at the table, Gerald, and you know what happens? I have a sugar attack at the table. Okay, you know that the guy at AEW that goes out, he's oh man, I'm terrible. He's on ACW. He's one of the managers. There's so many of them there. Not AEW, and he's sitting right next to me, and I recognized him. I recognized him because I taped them things, and then I fast forward through everything because there ain't a lot of some bitches I like to watch, and their work, the work. But anyway, the guy says Bart needs sugar now, and I heard, and I looked at the guy sitting over here. That dude you just named is sitting to my right, and at this damn round big table, there's like 8 guys there, and every one of them's firing questions, this question, because that's the territory where I helped first set it on fire, And brother, he said, get him some orange juice, get him some ice cream, get him something. And these people are going around with carving meat off a carving steak and ribeye off this round thing, and girls running around half. They ain't covered up. You understand what I'm saying? And these are girls that's coming in, and it's a nice place, Blows my mind away. I've never seen anything, but they just keep bringing meat, chicken, fish, shrimp, steak. They just keep bringing it, till you tell them to stop. But anyway, I got my blood sugar under a little bit control, and made them happy. And I get talking is talk back in the day, Gerald. And Johnny, you remember this too, brother. But back in the day, you had to know how to cut an interview. You know, if you didn't know, if you couldn't cut an interview, brother, that was 85-90% of your job gone. I mean, and I love talking. I have you got a timer on this, Johnny, or are we just going to keep going and going and going?
No, we can wrap up. I love that. We love having you on. I mean, it's been it's a real treat for me.
What is that beside you, Johnny?
Where? Here?
No, other way. Yeah, what is that? Beautiful
Mayan calendar.
He has it there so I can tell the date. You know?
That's right. That's right.
I thought it was a belt or something. It looks like
no. It's a Mayan.
It looks like a plate.
It's the first belt, really. It's the first belt.
That's right.
Calendar, the first calendar ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of yeah. It's a replica. It's not. It's
well, yeah,
expensive, but it's.
I know you're rich. I know you're rich.
No, I got it down in Mexico near the.
Did you know that belt that I held, and I did hold it. I hold it. They say that I just held it for like maybe a month, 2 months, something like that. I do not recall my reign being that short, and it seems like I've been there for 5 years. I wasn't the world heavyweight champion for 5 years, but I'm the world heavyweight champion more than what they say on that dadgum deal. And they need to get my birthday right
And your birthplace.
And my birthplace right.
You don't want to be no North Carolina. No.
I
can't understand why you're so proud of saying you're from that damn south of the Red River place. Yeah.
I got a guy that I booked on the show on the 27th with us. One of James Beard's guys backed out because Johnny, get this, James booked him on this show. And it's a big deal for down here. You know, it's a big deal for down here. And the guy called and canceled himself because he was emotional. Can you imagine being around Akbar, being around Dick Murdoch, being around Johnny Hawk, being around Black Bart, being around the Briscoes, and calling Jimmy Crockett or calling Vince McMahon and saying, I'm emotional today, I can't make it. I said, dude, what, you son of a gun? He said, Bart, this guy said, James Beard just, brother. I said, man, brother, you made your bookings only if you died. Did you not make your bookings? In my years, I've been doing it, and I've been jacking with this since 1975. All right, not full time, but I started wrestling in front of a crowd in late 1975, and Ivan and Rick Miller started running towns, and I was the main event. I was the opening match. I was the main event. I tore the ring down. I set the ring up, sometimes by myself. When I got it back to the gym, I had to pull it up one piece at a time, 2 stories up, because it wouldn't fit through the stairs going up to beside Doug's gym in downtown Dallas. And that's where all the guys trained, all the wrestlers trained, and Ivan got a building right there next to it. And stories, man, stories. First time I ever met Bruiser Brody, he come in there and locked up with me, and took me down to the mat, and was laughing. I mean, laughing. Luthez come in there and took me to the mat. And I've always been so proud to say that they did. You know what I'm saying? And Luthes was stiff. Brother, you don't talk about stiff. This old man just hurt you touching you. You know, just touch you, he hurt you. The guys nowadays, they don't know what stiff is, brother. They don't know what dudes is. Dudes is having a whole ring up. I mean, a whole ring, one piece at a time, pull it up. I was in shape, brother. And we wrestled Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. When I started, and I pulled the ring, set the ring up, wrestled the opening match, wrestled the main event. Okay, tore the ring down, loaded it up, and took it to the next show in my truck, in my trailer, and it was Ivan's ring. Okay, and the first time we done that, I made $9. $9, and I said to myself, "Damn, we can make money doing this." And now, the guy, I don't know if you remember Austin Idol, but Austin Idol,
Mike McCord,
whatever. I know him as Austin Idol. He, I'm glad that I don't know him, but I do know he would if he got his hair messed up, he would go to the motor. Hey, you touch my road, touch my belt. I said, do what? I'm gonna mess next time I wrestle him, brother. I wrecked his hairdo. He did do. His do. He wrecked my do. I said, brother, you in a fight. I was disappointed. I was disappointed when I found out wrestling wasn't real. I tried to tell my daddy that wrestling ain't real, Daddy. It's not real. And my daddy would laugh at me. You know what he'd say? He said, "You just telling me that. You just telling me that because you don't want me to worry about you. I love you, son." And I couldn't smart my daddy up. Now my mama, she kind of got caught on a little bit, but my wrestling career, I don't think along the way. I mean, me and the Iron Sheik, we had, of course, Gene Anderson. Gene Anderson was involved in this rib, brother, and Gene knew that I was a football playing son of a gun, in shape. I was doing laps around Howard Payne University, and they would if you messed up on something, you had to do one lap. Every time you messed up, you had to do one lap. I had about 300 or 400 laps that I had to do. I had a lot of laps, and but Gene knew I was in shape, but I didn't know. I didn't know Iron Sheik was a shooter. He didn't look like shit to me. And I was young and dumb, full of cum, and brother, he's going back to rides, but we go in his car. I would do all the driving in his car, plus pay him trans. Okay. when we got my car, I would do all the driving, and he wouldn't pay me no trans. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? That was, we paid each other like 5 cents a mile or 4 cents a mile. If you was real good friends, don't worry about it. You just get enough. You do the next ride. But Iron Sheik, brother, got under my skin, and I don't think he realized it. But I wanted to fight. I mean, I've been on the mat with Texas Blue Chippers. I've been on the mat with the Briscoes. That's another. I got one more. I want to say, but anyway, we wound up in a little spot show, right? And Gene is there waiting in the dressing room. It's a little dressing room, high school kind of situation. Big dressing room, and Iron Sheik walks in. They know everybody knows there's heat between me and Iron Sheik. Okay, and they know I ain't scared because I ain't never been one to keep a secret. Okay, and Iron Sheik walks in. Gene Anderson throws a blocking dummy a round blocking dummy. He's got the weights in the bottom. Stands it up right in the middle of the room, brother. And he said, "Hush, get it!" And I hit that son of a gun, and I shot it across, and I hit it again and shot it this way, and the Iron Sheik's going like that, and then I'm lining up on the Iron Sheik. I'm fixing to get my ass whooped and handed to me is what I'm fixing to get, and Brother Gene says, "He's just a kid. He don't know that you're an Olympic shooter and you can stretch his big ass anytime you want." And I said, "He's a what?" He said, "He's an Olympic shoot. He Greco-Roman, upper body, whoop you so fast and make your head swing." And he could, Did I tell the story about Larry Lane?
Not yet. I
Gerald,
got to hear it though. Larry's a great guy.
Yeah, I know. You know who the hell I'm talking about too.
John, Larry was the only guy that Jack did not pin in the national tournament. Because he wrestled like a turtle.
Did I tell you, Johnny? Didn't I tell you there was history there?
Yeah.
Listen, brother. At Raleigh TV, they put me and Larry Lane against the Brisco. Rick Harris and Larry. I did not know that there was history there. I learned real quick though. I learned, brother. One of the Briscoes come up to me. I don't remember if it was Gerald or Jerry, and said, "When we shit can you, you stay shit can. When we shit can you, you sell like a broke dick dog and don't get back in the ring." I said, "Yes, sir." And brother, when they shit canned me, that's where I stayed. But I peeked up over that ring, and brother, what they were doing, and I mean, oh man, but Larry loved. He couldn't wait. He could not wait. And I said, "Oh, they just stomped the mud hole in your ass and stomped it dry." He said, "Don't matter. It don't matter." And he finally smartened me up, but I didn't know that Jerry, it was Jerry that never could pin him. He couldn't roll him over.
Good. Well, he turtled up on you, like a turtle draws in a shell. You got no arms, you got no leg, you got no head, you got nowhere to grab,
Boy, y'all wore his ass out. I mean,
payback
wore that man. And he come into a territory. Now get this, Johnny. He come into a territory that was trips. We 10,000 miles. That was nothing in a week. 5,000 back boom, up in the How, back to Charlotte, back into Cincinnati. Unbelievable trips. You only come to the territory in a single cab pickup truck in a territory where you need a big car to carry at least 4 or 5 guys to ease the expense of the trips. Could you imagine doing that now and how much it would cost for one vehicle, brother? But anyway.
Well, Bart, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a real treat for us. I hope when your book comes out, you'll come back.
We can go 20 more minutes. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing with you, Johnny. My son is in prison for stealing. He stole stuff from me, but he's about to get out. We think he's about to get out, and he's received God and trusting God and everything now. I do. I had Eden since he was 3 months old. First 3 years of his life, it was just me, because Linda, my wife now, she worked. But he just started school. He just started school yesterday, and he's about to be here. So it may be a damn good time to end it. But I want to. I want to thank God for everything that He's ever done for me. Because brother, God has been with me. Jesus has been with me since the get go. Okay. Um, I, I believe, and I put all my trust in the good Lord. And the good Lord is the only reason that Black Bart is here. And I give him all the glory and all the praise. And to sit and talk with friends and about something that we all three different, it's really three different generations. Um, Gerald was on when I started. The Briscoes was on fire. You know, even in Florida, they owned that automotive. That you don't think I remember that, did you, Gerald? They owned that. They owned that gum. It was a Rose, not Rolls Royce, Mercedes Benz.
Mercedes Benz.
Yep, Mercedes Benz shop.
Good, you're good. I didn't think you'd remember that.
And back, the Florida territory was, oh my God, it was such a pleasure. The Pensacola territory was heaven on earth. To go to make money and have the fun that we had. And as many times as we've been pulled over by the police, we should have been locked up. I've been pulled over with a case of beer between my legs. Lynn Denton sitting over there in the seat beside me with a case of beer beside his legs, on the floorboard. And the cop pulled us over. He recognized me right off, but he wasn't a Black Bart fan. He wanted to meet the grappler. Well, Lynn Denton is a grappler. I said, sir, I said, Lynn Denton is the grappler. He said, no. I said, yeah, he's a grappler. And the bags are thrown in the back of your open truck. I said, Lenny, if you don't get you a little bandy-legged ass out of this truck, go back there and get that guy an 8x10 pictures, give him a mask if you have to get us out of going to jail. Because this guy, it's in Jacksonville, Tennessee, with this wrestler. We're still in the county. He's the guy that comes around. They're back there for 10 or 15 minutes. And, Lenny's one of the best, was a damn talker too. So he's really jacked, this guy. And I mean, this guy's just happy, grinning from ear to ear, gives him pictures, gives him a grappler hood. And he comes around back to my and says, Bart, get out of my county. I said, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going. But yeah, I'm sorry. Brother, you're just going to have to cut me off, John. Go. I'm sorry. Something pops in my head.
That's all right. We can always do another show later.
We ain't got
you got enough for 2 shows right now. You may Featherspoon. Is a good friend of mine, and he does these podcasts. And
I've been on Chris's show. Yeah. He's great.
And Chris is one of the nicest, bestest guys that I've ever met, not in person. You understand what I'm saying? I've never met him in person, just on one of these and doing this kind of stuff. And I am the number 1 rated wrestler on his show, and I want to be the number 1 wrestler on y'all's show. Sure. But it's a little hard to beat. It's a little hard to beat the talent of Gerald Briscoe and Johnny Layfield.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Thank you, my friend, and anybody listening out there, man. Go to Black Bart's Facebook page. Book him. You'll be entertained. You'll be so entertained. You never will regret it. Take care of this man. He's a legend. He's one of these guys that's iconic in our business, man. And on top of it, he's a damn good guy.
Thank you, brother.